What would you say is the number one thing or the most important thing that you teach your students around SEO? The biggest thing for them to grasp, I guess, that's critical.
That they can do it. I think which sounds silly, right? But it's this idea that SEO is something that's very approachable, and that it's not magic, and that it's not that this kind of like voodoo like kind of stuff that has been sold. Like I said, I think
it's scary looking at it from the outside, right?
It really is, and I think SEOs have done just a fantastic job over the years of really making it just unapproachable for a very long time, right? And even people that offer these kind of like online courses that are out there that are usually scams, to be completely honest with you, right? Because they charge big bucks for these things, and instead of like, it's this one time fee for this one, and then it's a membership that that you have to keep paying on for this and this or whatever it is. But even then, the way they sell these things is that you have to hold on to them, because things change so often, and you never know what things. If it breaks, you're going to need to come back, and I'm gonna have to reteach it all over again and stuff like that. But it's like they really do it, and they sell it with all the language of kind of like it's these 5 simple things, and these whatever it is, but it really isn't, right? The stuff they need to do is like I really break it down from the idea of like, hey, look, it's really a collection of like marketing and web development and public relations tactics that any self-respecting company should be doing anyway, even if search engines didn't exist, right? There are some things that you do on the web development side that are speaking directly to search engines. There are some things that are in the thing that are in the schema kind of side of things where they finally decided like, hey, we are going to talk to a search engine, right? Mm-hmm. But for the most part, like your like your website's supposed to be mobile friendly, right? Your website is supposed to load quickly, right? It's supposed to have content on it, right? It's like these things are supposed to be happening. Even if search engines weren't such a major factor to it, you were supposed to be doing this the whole time. They're supposed to have links. Like Google knew all this stuff. They just took advantage of the fact that it was supposed to be there and is rewarding you for it. SEOs have really kind of programmed our brains to think backwards, from the sense that like we're doing all these things in the name of SEO, when in reality it's the other way around. Like they're supposed to be there first, right? And
for us as humans to have a better life. The humans, it's a human first program. Like the users is what we're doing these things for, whatever it is. Like SEO is really, we're just honing them so the robots have a cleaner surface to work with later on, right? As after the fact, so that these search engines can find it. So then again, once again, so the humans can find it, right? Like it's really like the humans fell out of the equation so quickly in this stuff. And SEOs really have taken that story to a really crazy standpoint. And it's really by kind of like grabbing all they can. Like all these things are ours. Like all, like everything in this is all ours. And because they're so technical, and it's just a scary world. Like how could you possibly know what you're doing? Because it changes all the time. And the crazy. Main thing that doesn't change is that it's the same thing that is what we've said, like probably for like the last 20 minutes. It's just about great content for people to make their lives better.
And if you get that right, and you make sure that Google can actually get to it, you're mostly going to be fine, right? And get some links. Like you, and
the links are a byproduct. It's a second order consequence of great content as well, right?
Yeah. If you're doing some really great stuff and people find it, it's fine, but like the rest of it will work itself out. It's they make it sound like it has to be this
engineering,
heavy lifting kind of things to it, but it really doesn't have to be. It's really, most of the stuff that we find, like as my large scale audits for these really big companies, like I've done them for like the Smithsonian, for Manchester United, for these really big companies, and like the stuff we find is like, you're going, you know what, like like somebody should have found that already. Like that stuff, like really that should be found. Like that, these are like technical things that really shouldn't have been like left alone for as long as they had been, right? And you hate to say that, because it just means that like there's a technical problem that had been like ignored for a long time, or you know, how slow a website has been ignored for a very long time, whatever it is. But like, you know, and I don't want to like throw people under the bus, but it's like people are busy. Like engineers are busy, especially on these gargantuan sites. I mean, for, you know, that are out there, they have a lot to do just to keep things going, right? And especially ones like some of the ones I mentioned where they've got updates constantly. Right. I mean, a sporting site. I mean, imagine how much that has to update with, you know, they're constantly playing new things coming on board. You know, it's crazy. You like how much activity on these things goes. We've worked with news sites where things go up on like every couple of minutes, and these things are going through. The chances of something breaking is amazing, right? You know, like and then, you know, some SEO guy comes running down the room and he goes, "Oh, could you make sure you include this?" And I go, "Get out of here. We don't have time for you, man." And like, it's like, so yeah, it's a tough gig, right? But that's why I'm saying, like, the world would be better off if everybody kind of learned it as a second nature type of activity, rather than as something where somebody came back later on and told them to fix it.